Lovely starshine lights my way to bed. Magic rainbows glisten in my head. Just like a child, I live in Wonderland. All my dreams are coming true.
Hi, and welcome to Handmade by Ditsy Tulip. I'm Mel, and thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to share, like I did last week, an overview of what creative things I've been up to in the past week. There's a few different things that I've been doing, but I'm going to start with the Cali anorak, which is here. And it now has pockets, yay! These were the most difficult pockets that I've ever sewn in my life, and they took 2 hours to do. But I've now got two pockets, so that's that side, and that's the other side. And I think what made them difficult is it was a construction method I'd never heard of before. It was a seam line called, I think it's corsetina seam or something like that. But ultimately, if you can see, it's kind of stitched on the bottom there, but then that bit is loose, so it gives you a bit of depth in the pocket as well. So you kind of sew a what do you call them, mitered corner. So yeah, it was a little bit tricky. I've never done that style before, but they're great now they've worked out. I also had to watch my own video to remind myself on how to use my press stud setting machine. So I've got the press studs attached there as well. So they are really great pockets, so worth the time and effort. I've also got the right coloured thread now. If you'd seen my previous video, I was waiting on thread, which is why it was taking ages to get started on this. But I've now got the right colour thread, so I'm much happier with the top stitching now as well. I unpicked all the top stitching I'd done in the wrong colour thread. So that's the Cali anorak. The next thing that I've done, which is sewing, is this really sweet little bear. And this is a little kit that I purchased from Etsy, from a shop called Noble Fabrics. I'll leave a link in the video notes. But you basically get the instructions, which are quite basic. There's no pictures or anything like that to show you what to do. It's just wording. So I did have to do a bit of research online for certain things that I wasn't familiar with, because it's the first time I've sewn a fully jointed bear. But you get the pattern, which you transfer onto card, and you get pretty much everything that you need. So it came with the fabric, which I'll show you in a sec because I've got a bit left. The little eyes, the thread for the nose, the little bell, the ribbon came with him, the discs and cotter pins, I think they're called, which is what makes him fully movable. The only thing it didn't come with is the stuffing. Now, to stuff him, I used felting wool because I thought that just gives a better feel than kind of the polyester stuffing. This is the fabric because I have got a bit left, so I can show you. So that's the fabric, which was really nice. And I fully sewed him by hand. So while we had the nice weather last weekend, I'd sat in the garden and stitched him together in the garden. So yeah, it was a lovely little project. I've also aged him by adding some dry pastels around his nose area and eyes and ears, so it gives him that vintage look as well. Now, I do have another little kit that's on the way similar to this, but it's a little elephant, so do let me know in the comments if you would like to see a little bit more detail on how these are put together, so you can have a think about whether you'd want to give one a go yourself. I won't do a full kind of sew along or a full tutorial, but as I'm making the elephant, I'll do like little snippets of video, if that's something you're going to be interested in, so you can see what the process is like. The next thing that I worked on this week was this bed and patchwork quilt. So the bed I made from the Cricut machine with chipboard, and then I've hand painted these flowers to give it a bit of a nicer, more detailed look. And then I've made this little patchwork quilt, which isn't finished yet. I've got to set it onto kind of a plain fabric, so I've got the border around the edge, but I thought I'd show it you before I do that so you can see what it's like at the front and back. Now my technique did improve as I did this. On some of them I can kind of see gaps and I can see my stitching, and what I've discovered as I was doing more and more of it is I simply wasn't pulling the stitches tight enough. So when you're doing this, you really need to pull the stitches tight so that it holds it secure and so that the stitches sink into the fabric as well. I've also made a start on some tiny little hexagons, if I can find them. They're on this table somewhere. Oh, here they are. So I've just got a couple to show you. So really using up tiny scraps of Liberty fabric and then making little hexagons. And then what I'll do is I'll stitch these onto a square and then sew the squares up into a quilt. Now the video that I watched which really helped with these, if you've not heard of her already then definitely check her out. It's Emma from the Vintage Sewing Box. Really makes beautiful quilting projects. She shares lots of things over on Instagram, but she's recently set up a YouTube channel as well to share some tutorials. So I watched her tutorial on how to do these and found it super helpful. And she also introduced me to these nifty little things, which are Ashmead Design pre-cut hexiforms. And the difference with these than normal paper piecing is you can keep these in the project. So this I didn't use with these because they hadn't come in time, but these I'm using these hexiforms, so you simply keep it inside and they're fully washable, and it just speeds up the process by quite a bit actually. So yeah, definitely check out Emma's video. She goes into a lot more detail about how to do these, and she's definitely more of an expert than I am. So I'll leave a link to her video in the video notes. And then the final thing that I've done, something that I did last night and finished off this morning for the miniature house, is this really cute piano and little stool. And this is actually made of paper. I can't believe you can make something quite so beautiful from paper, but that is made fully from paper. I've cut it out on the Cricut machine, and then you basically glue all the pieces together and then build it up by gluing it. So it's by a shop called Analog Gift on Etsy, and just to give you an idea, that's all the pieces that the Cricut machine cuts out. You then have to glue them all together to build up this really sweet piano. So again, if anything on the Cricut machine is something that you fancy seeing a little bit more of, then do let me know in the comments and I'll look to share more videos on different things that I do with the Cricut. I'm really enjoying doing different things rather than just kind of cutting out vinyl for pressing onto clothes that I make. It's really enjoyable seeing exactly what this machine is capable of, because it's capable of so much. I'm so really happy with how that turned out. Then I think the final thing just to share with you is some buttons that I won in a competition a while ago on Instagram, but they've arrived over the last couple of weeks and they're really special, so I wanted to share those with you. They're from Bamboo Vera. I just want to show you the box first of all because it's absolutely gorgeous. And I only won one set of buttons, but she's actually sent me two, which was very kind of her. And I'm not sure how well the camera's going to focus, so I may need to insert some photos. But the first one, I don't think it's going to focus. It's like a little hand which is holding a little diamante stone. So I've got a set of those. And then the second set, I really don't think the camera wants to focus, is some little lips. So need to think of something special to make to attach these to, because they feel more like pieces of jewellery than buttons. They're really, really elegant. So again, I'll leave a link in the video notes if you want to have a look at the different varieties that are available, and I'll keep you posted with what I add them to. So I think that's it. I've got a table full of different things that I've been working on. I'm trying to see if I've shared everything with you, which I think I have. Plans for the next week is to do some more on the Kelly anorak. So I'll get you an update over to you with what the next steps are that I have done on that. And then just carry on with a bit of quilting, I think that's the plans for this week. Oh, actually, I'm going to make some larger crepe paper flowers as well using the Cricut machine. So yeah, I'll keep you updated with how I get on with those. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share today. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.
All my dreams are